basically is dedication and trusting in God, and always keep praying and working very hard.
It was a blessing to have a supporter system right from home, which has played a big role in his development.
I got polio at the age of 4 years. Yep, when my mom realized that I couldn't walk. So I've been like that until I think class 4, when I went for an operation, at least to make my leg a bit straight. And I used the caliper, went to Joytown Primary. Then I later went to Mombasa Secondary School, and later joined Kenya Polytechnic. One key thing about my life as a person with disability is my parents. They've been so vital in my upbringing. They've always supported me, and made sure that my sibling supported me in my course. Even when I joined sport, to some it felt like you are wasting your time. There's no sport for person with disability. But my parents supported me all the way. Yes, so what I would like to encourage parents is just give your child an opportunity. You never know. Currently, we have professional person with disability who are doing sport. They are professional. So if they're given an opportunity, who knows, they might end up very far.
And when he watched his brother play basketball, he was inspired with the NBA adding fuel to his ambitions.
I used to like watching my brother play basketball. So one day he called me and we went and tried to shoot some hoops. And I got interested, and from there I picked it on. Till today, I'm still playing sports. I used to love watching NBA. So I felt like maybe I could play, but the fact that I had a disability, it limited me. Only for one day to later watch it on TV that there is wheelchair basketball in Kenya. And I was so interested and I joined.
Caleb is now a renowned player in the Kenya wheelchair basketball circles, which has seen him extend his talent beyond the region.
Wheelchair basketball basically has taken me to so many countries, like it was in Algeria, Morocco, Egypt, South Africa several times. Majority of the championships I have been named as one of the most valuable player in like 3 tournaments. I've been MVP in World Cup qualifiers. That was in Algeria, and I remember Kenya came 3rd position. I was in an MVP in South Africa tournament. It was African qualifiers for the World Cup, and Kenya we came 4th position. And in Algiers in 2007 we came 4th. I was also named the most valuable player in the tournament.
He's a good shooter who'll stop at nothing to give it all to realize his goals.
I'm very proud of that because we've been working, me and Coach Andrew and Coach Gumbi have been working out on my shooting skills, and I'm glad. Even in the recent championship, I managed to score around 20 baskets in one match, which is something very good.
And that is not all, as he has excelled in para-athletics too, notably the marathon, where he's a constant competitor in the local scene.
Last year, I won the Beyond Zero marathon. I came first. I think 2019. I finished 2nd in the Standard Chartered Marathon. Last year I finished 5th, which is sad. I'm looking forward to working on it. I have to claim my trophy. Yep.
It's not harder to combine the 2 sports, as he's very agile and adaptive to any situation.
It's all rounds up to the physical nature of an athlete. Because you find that in wheelchair basketball and in wheelchair tennis, you get to do a lot of running around. So when you use that, you find that you can do well in marathons. Because, for example, in wheelchair tennis, we get to the court like by 10:30, and we finish around 3. All that time, it's all about chasing the ball here and there. So when you combine the hours, you put them into marathon, you see that maybe you can be somewhere in a good position.
The true sportsman hasn't limited himself to the two sports and also ventured into wheelchair tennis, where his skills have come in handy.
I remember the first time wheelchair tennis was introduced. There is a coach who saw me and told me that he can use my wheeling skills in tennis. So he gave me a racket, and that was it. We came into tennis. And I was, at some point, I was seed number 1 for Kenya for like, I think it was around 2 years. And then later more players came in and the competition was stiff, and they managed to overhaul my seed 1, and I accepted the challenge. But for now, I'm glad I'm back in wheelchair tennis, and I'm looking forward to giving them a challenge. Most memorable is the championship, wheelchair basketball championship in South Africa. When I got the most valuable player, I couldn't believe that I could make that big stage. And the other one is in wheelchair tennis, being the first male Kenyan to win a match in Kenya. The first match I played against an Egyptian, and I won 3-2. The match went for like 3 hours. Let me say I love sport because of one reason. There was a time when Corona came. I was seriously sick. And I went to the doctors. I remember it was here in Kenyatta. I did almost 20 tests, and all the tests came out negative. So there's one doctor who told me there's something that you're doing which is not normal. I later came to realize that I had stopped doing all sports and I concentrated only in wheelchair basketball. So in terms of my health, it went from good to worse. So once I realized that, I had to force myself to come back into all the sports I was doing, because I remember last year, it was the first time I finished 5th in the Standard Chartered Marathon. I've been finishing from position 1 to 3, but because I decided to stop all the sports, I finished 5th. So I just decided I need to get back, I need to get my body back to shape, and here I am.
And if you think that's all, then you have no idea how far he can go with his pursuits, as he's also in the forefront of introducing wheelchair rugby too.
I registered wheelchair rugby. Basically, wheelchair rugby is centered around severe disabilities. People with disability who you will never get to see playing wheelchair basketball, wheelchair tennis, or these other events. Because majority of them are spinal case injuries and multiple disabilities, like maybe loss of arm, a leg, and either 3 or 4 kind of disabilities. So I'm trying to give an opportunity to people who are left out. Yes.
All in all, he doesn't let his tribulations and disability define him, and is more focused than ever to continue doing what he loves most.
Next is to get into shape, see where the future is taking me. But one thing that I'm not stopping now is playing wheelchair tennis and wheelchair basketball and the marathon. Yes, I'll be there.
Caleb Odio is an outstanding sportsman who has been able to overcome his disability to succeed in wheelchair basketball, tennis, and the marathon, and he still has room for more. Isn't that a blessing?
My life has been wonderful, and I thank God for everything. I can't believe I'm here today, because looking at my path, the challenges that I've gone through, I'm glad and I'm happy that I have a disability and I can walk tall with my disability.
On the sidelines, he also champions for the rights of persons living with the disabilities and looks forward to the day when all public service vehicles will be easily accessible to them.
There was one initiative that I think the guys of 145, they started to remove some seats in certain vehicles, which was a big plus. I think if NTSA would insist, first we start with the vehicles that we know, like the KBS, the City Hoppers, then I think all the other guys will catch up. In most of the PSV, you find most of the wheelchairs can't go in. So that means a person on a wheelchair has to get out or has to be carried into the bus. And maybe if his wheelchair or her wheelchair is not affordable, it means the wheelchair is being kept maybe under the boot or up there. And personally, I used to have a caliper. If you mess with my caliper, basically you're messing with my life. So I imagine a person on a wheelchair, if you put his wheelchair on top of the bus, he won't be comfortable because he's not sure if his wheelchair is safe. So if we could provide ramps and maybe make the doors a bit big for the wheelchairs to get in, it would be a big plus. Parting shot maybe is to thank you personally, KBC, for what you guys have been doing. You've been trying very much to support persons with disabilities. Even in most of your shows, I've seen presenters with disabilities, which is a big plus, and thank you for that.
And that has been the story of Caleb, who is a wheelchair basketballer in multiple wheelchair sports. That is where he competes in. Well, welcome to Sports Check. Time for us to have our first conversation. And this is about the East Africa Community Interparliamentary Games that are going to be hosted here in Kenya. And as I get to introduce my guest, let me also introduce my sign language interpreter, who is Anne Wangeshi. In studio with me, two people who are making sure that Kenya is ready to host 8 other countries from the region. Somalia, the newest member of the East African Community, is going to be here. South Sudan, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, Tanzania, and also you've got the Democratic Republic of Congo, all coming together to celebrate the sporting prowess of the parliamentarians from these countries. In studio with me on my immediate left is the county MP for Vihiga County, the Honorable Beatrice Adagala. Karibu.
Thank you.
And also we have got the Honorable Dr. Robert Pukose, who's also the chair of the Departmental Committee on Health at the National Assembly.
Thank you.
All right.
Good morning.
And good morning. So I'll start with you, Honorable Adagala. Let's go straight to this. And, the whole process of Kenya, getting selected to host the East African Community Parliamentary Games and how you have been gearing up towards this.
Thank you very much. The East African Games, the parliamentary ones are done every year towards the month of December as we close for the long recess. Members normally are very busy both on the ground and in parliament. So this becomes a relaxing moment whereby nearly all the East African countries are they meet and we do bonding, we do games. It's normally known as, mostly people normally say that we do strengthening, widening, and deepening of the East Africa spirit.
Yeah.
Yes, so now it's the turn for Kenya to host. Last time, I think we were in which country?
We were in Rwanda.
We were in Rwanda, and now it's the time for Kenya to host. Yeah.
Honorable Dr. Pukose, Kenya, the preparations for this, because, we've seen the delegations going down. You're working together with the county government of Mombasa. And also, you have got, so we've seen Governor Abdul Swamad, involved in this. What has been the preparation story for Kenya as we gear up to host the game starting Saturday?
Thank you very much, and good morning, viewers. The East African Legislative Assembly Games are held annually, and it's rotational, as my colleague has put it, where each country hosts it. Every year we decide, the speakers panel decides which country is going to host. And therefore this year it is the Kenyan opportunity to host these games. These games bring all of us together, and there are benefits for the town that is going to host, because you have visitors who are coming in and they'll be sleeping in hotels, they'll be eating food, they'll be buying many things. So In this year, when Kenya is hosting it, we are hosting it in Mombasa. And therefore, the county government of Mombasa, under his governorship of Honorable Abdul Samad, has been part of the preparations in terms of provision of the fields, Baraki, and also other fields for training and for competition. And therefore, even the golf will also be having, there'll be many games. We'll have golf, we'll have football, we have athletics, we have darts, we have basketball, we have netball, and we have volleyball. So in these games are going to be held in different fields. And therefore, both the county government of Mombasa and our ministry, led by CS Chirchir, has been in the forefront to make sure that the preparations are done up to maximum, together with also the Ministry of Interior, to make sure that there is adequate security and people are able to move from one field to another without any interruptions. And therefore, I think I want to laud them, both the Ministry of Interior, the Ministry of Transport, and Sports, Ministry of Sports, led by Honorable Murkomen, which has also been instrumental to make sure that the fields are well prepared, and together with the county government of Mombasa for these preparations to make sure that the town is clean, there is adequate security, and there is going to be adequate movements without any interruptions from one field to another, so that participants can enjoy in participating in these games.
All right, Honorable Dagala, for the National Assembly and the Senate, this is where the two houses now come together and form the various teams out, and train together. What has been the preparation for Bunge, Team Bunge, or as it is known in Kenya? There is Bunge FC, Bunge Volleyball, and all that.
Yes, our teams are very ready. We have various captains for every discipline. Since our parliament is bicameral, we have if we have like netball, we have a captain in main parliament, then there another captain in Senate. The same to all disciplines. So we work together as a team, practicing. We all practice at the same time. Each discipline has its own members and their own WhatsApp group where they communicate about training and so forth. So we are really prepared. All the teams, all our Bunge teams are very ready for these games. And keeping in mind, we are the host. So we are very much ready to welcome all other East African countries, the member countries. We are welcoming them to Kenya, and mostly this is Mombasa. They are welcome to one of our tourist destinations where we have all the white sands, beaches, and everything. We want them, we are welcoming them. We are very much ready for them. We are welcoming them to enjoy our cuisines, to enjoy our country. They are even free to come to Nairobi here, where we have in Africa or in the whole world, where we have a national park in the capital city.
Well, Mheshimiwa, you could just give us, for example, what the conversations that you have around training and, some of the things that, they want to achieve and perform better. We know last year, Uganda, they were the overall champions, and what Kenya would like to, provide a winning team, given that they are the hosts. Kucheza kwao ndio watunzwe na watuzwe.
You are right. Our teams are very much prepared. When we come to Bunge FC, that's the football team, and Otienda Molo and others, it is very much intact, and we know we shall take that cup football, the football men's cup. When it comes to like the one I'm the captain netball, we are optimistic. My team is very much prepared. We normally have opposition and a lot of strict competition from Uganda and Tanzania. This time we know, as they come to Kenya, they should know we are very much prepared. My team is very strong. We are ready for them.
Okay.
We are ready for them. And keeping in mind, these games are not actually a do or die. The when I told you it is for strengthening, deepening, and widening our relationship. So, and keeping in mind, members of parliament are elderly people. We have very few who are youth members. but most of our teams members are elderly people. So I may not jump the way an 18-year-old can jump. But in all, we are very ready, we are very much prepared.
Okay.
To scoop all, in fact, every discipline we may, the cup will remain here in Kenya.
Okay, now maybe we could just get a little bit of the introduction of Bunge netball team. You could just, give us some of the names of your team that you're going to captain in Mombasa starting Saturday. I
have a very strong team. I have, like in the Senate, I have Betty Siengo, my co-captain. I have Beatrice Ogola, and we have Mayaka, Irene Mayaka. We have the woman rep from Migori. We call her Full Network, Fatuma. I have Mary Amase. She plays center. She's very good at passes. And I have the woman rep for West Pokot. She's also a very good scorer. I have several, and in the defense, I'm there. I'm the goalkeeper.
Yes.
I keep the goal so that no ball, our opponents will not be able to score. So they have to be ready for me, and the way my body is,
Niko
chonjo. I'll ensure none of them. And we are really ready for Uganda and Tanzania. This time, the speaker of Tanzania, she's tall, and I'll be keeping the goalkeeper. I'll be the goalkeeper. I'll ensure that I intimidate her with my body, keeping in mind she's slim and tall. But her tallness also will intimidate me. Uganda, they are literally good. And they have big-bodied ladies like the scorer. She's a huge lady, but we shall manage them. We have monitored. We now know the tricks, and right now we have a new coach. She's doing a good job.
Very well. Well, and so there you can see already that the enthusiasm for the games is there. We know our parliamentarians, they've got very long sessions. I know they'll be they're sitting this afternoon all day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday morning, and then on Saturday they will be in Mombasa for the opening ceremony. Dr. Pukosa, let's talk about Bunge FC. It's very interesting that we have a former Harambee Stars striker in that team. For the older generation, they would know him as Thomas Omboko, but now he goes as Omboko Milemba, and the constituency that Mheshimiwa comes from, that's the MP for Emuhaya. Dr.
Thank you. Our Bunge Sports is led by Engineer Kawaya, together with the Senator Mungatana as the overall chairs. So you have a representative from the Senate and the National Assembly. And we have several teams. As I put it, we have the Bunge football team, which is captained by Honorable Otienda Amolo as the captain. And you have other players who have been playing for the national team, like Thomas Omboko, now Omboko Milemba, who plays at the front. Although now, with the age, things change. You put on some bit of weight. So we have several of our good players who will be able to play. Even Dan Wanyama plays also in the defense. David Ocheng plays in the front. And also the member for Honorable Muhammad Ali plays also in the wings. So we have a good team. Even the member for Embakasi South, used to play also for national team. Yes, so Honorable Mawade.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's also playing in the striking team. So we have a good team that is playing. What we've done is that in the last games which we held in Rwanda, Honorable Engineer Kawaya, he's an electrical engineer. He introduced an app where it is only members of parliament that registers in. We are able to make sure that nobody else plays unless you are a member of parliament. So using this app, we have we enter all the members from the member countries into the app so that your face and features will be able to be captured there. So there is no team that will bring somebody who is not a member, because in the past, You will find that in the past countries used, and this was very fond, Uganda used to do this.
And in South Sudan.
And South Sudan.
Yes.
Where you find you have generals who are in the military coming to play. Or you have players who are in the national team coming to play.
So they easily win basketball.
And
Yes,
they easily win basketball, they easily win football. Yeah, because you are bringing in people who are not, who are in the national team and not members of parliament. Now it is strict. For all these games, members of parliament against members of parliament. So that makes it that the competition is now equal. It's on equal footing. We've levelized using this app introduced by our chair, Honorable Engineer Kawaya, the member for Mwala.
For Mwala, actually, yes. For those of you wondering where the Kawaya, you know, in this country, you pick up a nickname and you have, if you don't use it, you will not get elected.
It's called Honorable Vincent Musyoka, aka Kawaya.
And he's an electrical engineer.
Yes.
Kazi yake ni ya wire.
Yes.
Kawaya.
He's actually a first-class electrical engineer from the University of Nairobi. So he's done that app, and this app has actually helped our sporting, so that even for us, myself and Honorable and the member and the senator for Makueni, we are members of the disciplinary committee, where cases of discipline are brought before us, so that we can be able to look at it. I'm also the medical doctor for our teams. I'm the head of the medical team. So within the disciplinary, in the last disciplinary committee meeting, we had less cases of disciplinary cases because for fielding of ineligible players because of this app. So it is going to actually revolutionize the game, so that you have less disciplinary cases, you have less complaints. Now there is no complaint of somebody fielding in ineligible player. Maybe you can have complaints of indiscipline, maybe in the game, or you're playing not creating disturbance and that kind of thing. But on matters of ineligible players, I think we're doing away with it.
I'm trying to imagine a referee saying, Mheshimiwa, order.
No, the players in the field are just playing like any other. We are subjected to all the rules of
the
games, whether volleyball, football, netball, basketball. We also have tug of war.
Yes.
Yeah, there are 8 games. We have also tug of war, where the muscular guys now. I think Honorable Adagala is also in the tug of war.
In the first term,
yes.
In the first term, I was in tug of war, and I left. Is when this new term, this second term is when I became the captain for netball. I left tug of war,
but initially she was one of those strong ones.
Yes, keeping in mind I eat Usuma and Mrenda. The strength is there. But if called upon, you know, sometimes you can get there. There are cases, maybe Daktari may be handling sick cases. We are called upon as a team. We are a team Kenya. If you are called upon to go and do that, pull the tug of war, I'm ready. I'll have to be there. Like in Burundi, we went there and there was we didn't have people to run the 800 meters. I had to do it with another former nomination senator from Kericho. We had to go.
I also had to play football in Uganda because our team was not sufficient.
Yes, you know, sometimes injuries. With injuries.
As a footballer.
And yes, we like also volleyball, captained by Faith Gitao, and even basketball, captained by Mzige, the women rep in Haika Mziki. We normally work as a team. When there is a shortage in basketball, netball goes in. When there's a problem, the other side, they come in. So we work like that as a team.
Okay.
Yes.
Very, very well, actually, because I'll be coming to the athletics team and the volleyball team, because the departmental chair for for sports, the Honorable Dan Wanyama, played volleyball for Kenya. His son plays basketball for Kenya. But let's just think of, the tug of war. How do you then incorporate, because it can be a mixed gender event?
No, it's not a mixed gender event. It is women against women and men against men. You know, physiologically, we are not the same.
Yes.
So you can't have a man pulling a woman. That will be
No balance.
a violation. So you know. So what happens is you have a team of men on one side of the rope and the another team on the other side, and you have a referee in the middle. So and then they'll be called into order, and they'll be able to start pulling, and whoever are pulled into that side, then they lose. We have a team of men, and we also have our team for women for the tug of war. And so far, I think we've been performing well. Last year, our women team was runners-up.
Yes.
In Rwanda. Then our men's team, I think we lost earlier. So you know, you have some. Sudan, I think Sudan had huge guys, and Uganda, and so it's not, but it's a competition.
And keeping in mind, most of them are army guys.
And you know, military have been doing this type of war for quite a long time. So it's a new game to some of us, and but we've been doing well. We've tried.
Okay, volleyball. Just. You could tell us, about the volleyball team, because we say we are the best volleyball team in East Africa here. Actually, we even claim the African championship. When it comes to women's volleyball, just about the volleyball team.
Volleyball is quite doing very well. It's being captained by Commissioner Faith Gitau, County MP Nyandarua, and they're doing very well. We are hopeful the cup will remain here in Kenya. It's one of our strong teams. So we expect them to bring us the trophy. Yeah. And
I think for men, we are the champions for the men.
And even the men, we want to retain the cup so that we are not snatched from our ground.
And we know that you have ring-fenced everything, so it's going to be quite tough. Let's talk about athletics, because Kenya's parliament, it's not every time that you see an elected member of parliament representing a country at an Olympic Games. And Wesley Korir was one of represented Kenya in 2016. He's won. At Boston, we've got the Honorable Elijah Lagat, who's also won at Boston. So overall, the athletics team, where are we?
Athletics team is also, we are very hopeful. Dan Wanyama, we expect him to do well. The team, Engineer Kawaya is also...
Engineer Kawaya runs for the short races.
Yes, short races.
And he's doing very well.
And we have other members who are doing very well in it. When it comes to the women's side, we have women who run like, we normally call them swaras. They run like gazelles. That is Catherine Omanyo, Mary Emase. It's being captained by this Kasalu from Kitui.
Kasalu.
Yes. So we have sprinters, and even last time I saw Salasia did a good job in... Salasia did a very good job.
He
did a very good job.
He tried, although he disappeared somewhere in the middle
was
there.
Was it in Sudan or where? But the heat.
In Sudan he tried to swim, but he almost drowned.
The heat was too much, and that kind of heat, when you come from our region where we have a lot of rain like this, when you go to such a place like Sudan, it was quite terrible for most of our players, but we managed to survive with too much drinking of water, too much water. But those are some of the challenges. But Salasia is a good runner. There is this our Langata MP who
Felix Oduor Jalang.
Jalas is good in basketball. So we have a teams. Our teams are ready. We know we will be keeping in mind this is a home ground. We will take most of the but on the spirit of the East African, we shall cheer all teams.
Okay.
Our people who will come to cheer, we want them to cheer every other team.
All right. Well, you see, we're getting to know, all about, what kind of skills that, our parliamentarians have. Honorable Dr. Pukose, just take us through the others and in the teams. For example, we've got golf that's happening we've got darts that's going to be, that is also going to be played.
Golf, the captain is Honorable Rindigiri Mugambi, the member for Buri. And our golf team actually won in the last...
now that you mention Honorable Mugambi, well,
yes. Honorable
Mugambi is a scratch golfer at Royal Nairobi, and he's played for them at the Easter tournament.
So for the last two tournaments, we've been winning.
Yes.
We won in Arusha, we won in Rwanda, and we also won in Sudan. So our golf team is actually, within the region, is the best.
It's the best.
We've been winning both at individual and also at group levels. So our golf team is quite good.
Who are the other golfers in the team?
I'm also a golfer, but because of my position now as a team medical
doctor,
then I have no time to play. But we have other golfers. We have even the member for Siaya, the senator for Siaya, Honorable Buru Odinga. Is a golfer.
Yeah, okay.
We have
and our youth.
We have Senator Methu. We have
Ikana.
We have
Kasim from Kwale.
Kasim Tandasa. We have the member for Limuru, Engineer Kiragu. He's also a very good golfer. Then we have ladies. Mary Maingi is a very good golfer. Naomi Wako is also a good golfer. So we have our team is quite, I think it's one of the best within the region.
I know everyone will.
Then when it comes to darts, we
actually, let me just finish with the golf. Okay. Where does the team practice at this point? Which club now?
Unfortunately, we practice from our individual clubs. I'm a member of Kitale Golf Club. You'll find that Kiragu, Limuru, others, various
even
golf
railways
clubs.
Here.
We have we have also the the railways club where others go there. So everybody goes to their. They go back to their regional golf
where they are members.
Yeah, but occasionally we do rotational where members organize. Like recently in Kitale Golf Club, we had the Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Wetangula, hosting Wetangula tournament, which was held 2 weeks ago. We've had also others. My Senator Jasang has also hosted, and we have several. So members just organize themselves and they're able to host.
Very well. Let's move on to that.
That is basically one of the sports reserved for persons with disabilities. And for our case, we have the member of parliament for Westlands, the Honorable Tim Wanyonyi, being the captain for our darts team. Then we have other players, both from the Senate and National Assembly. Among them, you have nominated member Jackson Bishop Jackson, who is a member.
MP for Tarbo.
Member for Tarbo,
yes.
The Honorable Janet Sitiene. And we have several members who are members of the DATS. So DATS is reserved for persons, Bishop Jackson Koskei.
Yes.
So that is reserved for actually persons with disabilities, because in this tournament we felt that we should also be sensitive to make sure that people with disabilities are included in our sports, because they also have a right to participate. And one of the games that was reserved for them is darts.
Very well.
And our team has been winning. They've been winning the darts.
So very well, so you can hear it. Now, Honorable Wadagala, one of the things that everyone, the parliamentarians will be there. What's the kind of community engagement that goes around these games? Knowing very well that, if we take our 200, 300 plus odd MPs, Tanzania bring theirs, Uganda bring theirs. I mean, they're from 9 countries. You'll probably be having, close to 1,000 parliamentarians all around. How do you engage with the locals? Anytime you go for the games?
Anytime you go for the games, the locals also benefit. The locals, most of them work in those hotels. They'll be paid. Some sell curio things. The others sell around the beaches. They sell merchandise. There will be a lot of customers to buy them. Some even don't know how to swim. The other people from the coast will teach them, and many other things. And they will even sample a lot of our food. They'll eat a lot of, they'll take a lot of mnazi, juice. They'll eat.
And we also welcome them to come and cheer the various teams.
Yes,
as part of the cheering squad.
Cheering squad.
They are welcome.
Yeah.
When we went to South Sudan, we had the locals being very happy with our presence there. Initially, there were curfews. Those curfews were set aside, and we interacted with the locals up to very late hours.
Yes.
And locals came to the pitches to watch the games. So we want to also encourage our own locals that you are welcome to come to the pitches,
to cheer,
to the various football pitches, or volleyball or netball, whatever, to come and cheer and be part of the participating, so that this is where you will be able to interact with your members of parliament. Some of them you've only seen on television. You'll be able to interact with members of parliament from foreign countries, and it's for all of us to come together as East Africans and bring our minds together, because as you heard the other day, His Excellency President Ruto in the recently held leaders meeting for the East Africa, where he was elected the chair of the East Africa. He implored that let us come together as East Africans, so that this issue of boundaries should not be there. We should be able to have free movement of goods and services. People should be able to freely move between one East Africa country and the other. We are brothers, and therefore I think we want to encourage our people to really show that spirit of togetherness and come and participate as cheering our teams. And they are free to choose any team. You can cheer our Kenyan team, you can cheer our Ugandan team, you can cheer our Tanzanian team. These are East Africans coming together.
Watu wa Kwale, unajua watu wa Lungalunga mtashangilia wa Tanzania, hapana. Tuko team Kenya. Yes. So there you've had it. You can go and watch them. So you said Honorable Selassie is in the athletics team. He's going to be at the Mbaraki. So if you want, kama umekuwa ukimuona tu kwa TV, fika Mbaraki. That's where it's going to be. Maybe you could just give us an update. We know Mbaraki had been closed for renovations. I think, so even Bandari have been playing their games at Kwale. What have you seen with the facilities when you've gone down to do on the inspection tours?
Yes, the teams have been working day and night. You had a doctor here talking about the governor, the Minister of Interior, Transport and Sports working day and night. So we know the fields are very ready. Baraki will be used. The Aga Khan
Hall.
The Aga Khan
School, yes.
School, we shall use that. Is having several fields. KPA, we saw a whole team was in Mombasa from Bunge here, even the MD for KPA. They were busy inspecting those fields. The fields are very ready. We know the games are kicking on. And we appreciate our president, even after coming with the big chair seat from Arusha, he will be opening them officially, those games.
That is on Saturday?
Yes.
Okay.
And even I want to tell you, even the former wife to the former president of Tanzania plays netball. We normally play with her. So don't look at this
the wife to Jakaya
Kikwete.
Yes.
She's a netballer.
Yes.
We play with them. So nobody should say that it's just for jokes. This is a serious thing. Yes.
And as we speak today, our members of parliament, the executive, is actually, they traveled yesterday. They are now in Mombasa to make sure that the last preparations are up to date. And we also have the executive from all the East African regions.
Yes.
They arrived yesterday. So they are in Mombasa today, and they have a program to make sure that preparations are up to date. So they'll be there the whole of this week.
Whole week.
And myself and Honorable Adagala will be joining them. Myself, I'll join them on Wednesday, because tomorrow I have the Cabinet Secretary for Health appearing before Parliament for a breakfast meeting to discuss issues on Social Health Authority, where we want to explain to the members on what are the benefits that they are available, and answer members' questions so that we can have everybody in Kenya registered into the social health insurance fund and or as named by the President, Taifa Care, so that our people can access health. So we'll have the Cabinet Secretary tomorrow in Parliament at 7 to 9 together with her team.
So there's a lot that takes care. You're going to lead the medical, you're leading the medical team.
Yes.
Just give us an overview of how, you run around this. And just a quick one, where will the golf tournament be?
The golf tournament will be in the Mombasa golf course, which is it's called it's the Mombasa golf course.
Yes.
Yeah.
The links course, the one right next to the ocean.
Next to the ocean.
Yes, that one.
On the medical team, what we normally do is that it is a preparation that takes time. All the members of parliament and also our staff, the Kenyan team, are entitled to medical care. So normally we start by identifying which hospitals, if members fall sick, they'll be able to be attended to. So we are able to identify those hospitals, and we look at what kind of facilities they are offering, both in outpatient and the inpatient. And in terms of the investigations, what kind of equipment they have. Then in addition to that, we must make sure that there is a standby ambulance to be able to take members to that facility. And then the facility, how are members going to be attended to, so that they create a specific desk that when members fall sick, they are brought there, and you have somebody who will be able to attend to them, because the hospital services must also be able to continue.
Yes.
But at the same time, we must be able to also isolate the members so that they are able to be attended to. Then we look at within, and we communicate this information to all our East African countries. This is the kind of facilities we have. And in these facilities, what are the modes of even payments? Can you pay cash, or what kind of insurance, and what kind of insurance is covered within your country? Then from there, we will also set up a small clinic within our various facilities, within the hotels. In this clinic, we are able to offer small ailments for tissue injuries. You have somebody who has gone to play and maybe has a sprain, not a serious injury, or just a trauma to the skin that can be attended to. Maybe somebody has some just general pain. And we also have our teams for reflexology there. We have our teams for massage.
Easy English. Reflexology.
Reflexology is
the doctor. I've just woken up a doctor. Not just
reflexology is a service where they are able to do some massaging in your limbs, lower legs, and even hands. Yeah, to make sure that there is proper flow of blood, there is nerves are properly taken care of. And then we have also massage, which will be able to be done there. And we'll be able to offer, can you give some analgesics, painkillers? If somebody has maybe a small scratch, can be done tracing. Stomach problems. Maybe somebody's even just cough, a small cough, allergy and that kind, so that we can be able to give some ailments for that. And then that one, we normally set it closest to where you have majority of the members staying, so that there are cases that do not require you to go and see a doctor, that can be handled at that level. So at that time, I'm around and to make sure that we are able to, and my team, to be able to provide those services to our members. And even for now that we are hosts, we've told the incoming countries, because maybe a country is not able to set up such a kind of infrastructure. We've told them, should you feel you need some of these services, we can also, in the Brotherhood of East Africa, we'll also be able to offer you. You just walk into our clinic and we'll be able to take care of you.
Very, very well. Honorable Dagala, let me just come to this, because we've seen in the previous editions of the games, people who work within the parliamentary service commission, employees, those who are employed by parliament, say Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda. What ways do you want to engage them Because you are there with them from, all year through. Even when you take recesses, we know that you do a lot of work at committees level. So you involve them. Are we going to see them involved? For example, I know last year some were involved.
Yes, our staff, we train with them every morning too. So most of them we shall have them in Mombasa. We can arrange, they normally arrange staff to staff games. That is normally netball and maybe football.
And also athletics.
And athletics. So they will participate there. We will not leave them behind. We are going to go with them, and they will be participating.
And yes, very well, which is something that is great. Now looking at it overall, it's going to be, about 12, 13 days, almost 2 weeks of these competitions, running all the way to the 17th. Just looking at, how you spread out these games, what other activities will you be engaged with, besides the games, with the people out there, such that, everyone feels that the parliamentarians, there is a feeling of representation that comes through.
When you go for such games, you may think that there's free time. There's no free time. When this team is playing, the other members are training. When they are not training, they are cheering these other teams. So we are always busy like bees, and we will not have any time for leisure, other things here and there. No. We are on serious issues. The rules of the games, I hope you know that. We are going to be very serious. When we are not playing, we are in training. When we are not training, we are cheering the other teams. So that's exactly those days we shall be in Mombasa are going to be very busy. And keeping in mind, the members are also having other sports taking place in their constituencies and the counties. Like me, I'm having a basketball tournament, which is running from 21st. The finals will be on 22nd. So that is 3 by 3. And teams are coming all the way from even Mombasa.
Where is the tournament going to be?
It will be in Shalom, Mbale.
Okay.
Mbale, the headquarters of Vihiga County. So we are busy like bees. People may look at MPs just idling in Mombasa. No. We are busy. We are busy in games that side. We are busy coordinating things in our constituencies and our counties. So from there, we shall go for these finals in our counties and in our constituencies. These members of parliament are working day and night. In fact, if you can follow the life of an elected member of parliament, you will not believe it. He is a doctor. He has to do his work. He has to do the work of the constituency. He has to take care of my medical needs when we are in Mombasa. So I'm telling you.
And if they have disciplinary cases,
yes.
You are launching disciplinary matters before the disciplinary committee. And we are prosecuting it. So
if I will put my team, maybe I feel that the team that we'll be playing with will go and complain. Instead of him treating people, they'll be busy settling the disputes. So it's
a very busy
busy day. Maybe the closing day, maybe it's when the dinner will be done for all of us.
And you have, we've invited dancers, local dancers from there.
Yes.
To culture so that we can showcase our own culture as a country from the various dancers from our region. Yeah, so that, because that's what happens when we go to these other countries. They showcase what they have, and we shall also be showcasing what we have.
Well, Saturday is the opening ceremony. Just give us just an overview of the plan for that day.
Normally, when it is an opening ceremony, you have the bands, our local band, which will be the local police doing the band. You have various teams marching before the chief guest, so that we are showcasing what each country is showcasing their team. Then once that is, we've gone round and we are finished, then we'll have the speech from the host speaker, and also inviting the chief guest to make his speech. Then from there, we can have the opening tournament. Normally, we open with the football between the host country and the country that won the last tournament. So that is what happens for that day.
Okay, so there you have it. So the opening game at the and it's all going to be at the Mbaraki Sports.
Yes, yes.
Well, I can imagine that Mbaraki is going to be really packed with that football program scheduled for Saturday.
So we'll be playing against Uganda. You know, Uganda are the defending champions.
Yes.
And we are the hosts.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay, and let's see if Uganda can do that, because the Ugandan football delegation is led by the FUFA president. The FA president is a member of that delegation. So let's see what
you
is.
can't intimidate us with that. We have also strong footballers. We have Otenda Moro. We have
Umbogo
Milemba. We have our
Aaron Cheruiyot.
Aaron Cheruiyot, our striker.
Yes. We have a strong
Muhammad
team.
Ali.
Muhammad Ali.
Yes.
So they will not intimidate us.
David Ocheng. Yes.
David Ocheng. We are going to thrash them, by the way.
Ugandans, you have already been warned, and you can see that the hype is already there. Thank you very much, the Honorable Dr. Robert Pukose. He's the member of the National Assembly representing Endebess constituency, and also his colleague from the National Assembly, the County MP for Vihiga County, the Honorable Beatrice Adagala. It's all about the EAC Interparliamentary Games. So thank you very much, Waheshimiwa. Saturday, tutakuwa hapo.
Asante.
Just know that KBC is going to, we are a part of Parliament, so we will have to make sure that the games are covered effectively.
You're the best.
Thank you.
KBC is the best.
KBC is the best. We love you.
Asante sana. Well, we'll be taking a short break, and when we come back, let's talk about athletics. The youth camps are here with us. Barnaba Korir is going to be joining us on set.
Hawa tu kila mtu ana kazi yake.
Tani leo.
Wewe kichwa chako inaendaga mbele ama urudi reverse?
Side by side.
Unajua kupika nani?
Paka fathers mimi nimewapikia. Mimi najua kupika chakula aina mingi sana.
Do you even know the types of fun? Nimesaidia order. Nobody's talking, nobody's doing anything.
Hii mbuzi vulai, yani ngod. Yenye ni vulai, ye mbuzi.
Mmeka iliki hapa.
Iye iliki. Ukaka unajua utanirudishia pesa zangu wewe.
Mata mwache kuzinda ukinibanya kwa.
I never heard the music so sweet. I repeat.
Wagwan, me brethren, big things are going. Remember, each and every Monday we have to shell down the place with nothing but the best of smooth way the vibes in your favorite station. You know these things, man.
Alafu kila Tuesday, kata simu tupo side, giving you Kenyan music from the 254.
And of course, you can spice up your Wednesday by enjoying blazing hot hip-hop and R&B jams.
We don't got no label. She says she want bottles.
Vibes and vibes as we go all across Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, all the way to Tanzania to give you nothing but the best on Afro Thursday. Make sure you make a date with us each and every single Friday with me, DJ_Liza Diva,
DJ Cold,
and me, Wanjiko. This is Club One Extra.
Say bye-bye to FOMO, the fear of missing out, by downloading the KBC Online app that gives you access to everything you love. Get the latest news, sport, music, entertainment news, live radio, and so much more at the palm of your hands. To get the app, simply search KBC Mobile Digital app in your Google Play or App Store and download the app. Catch what you want, anytime, anywhere. Stay connected. Stay ahead with KBC Mobile Digital app.
Technology has become a crucial part of our society. Without technological advancements, so much of our everyday lives would be drastically different. As technology develops, it strives to fulfill the changing needs of society. This means that technology exists to help us achieve the things that we wouldn't be able to achieve without it. Take on Tech looks at the advantages and downside of technological innovation in a world that is becoming increasingly dependent on new digital technologies. Every Monday at 10:30 p.m.
Ushapata usaidizi zote?
Sijatibiwa bado. Anywe yale maji, halafu utapobakia aweke kwenye jeraha.
Lakini haya ya Jasiri yamenishtua. Afadhali ongea na mizimu ingilie kati.
Niko hapa kwa ajili ya Jasiri.
Huyu mwanamke ana roho mbaya. Yeye ndo muuaji.
Jasiri na wanawake wengine huko nje.
Ukiambiwa uambiliki. Ukisemezwa usemezeki mwanamume wewe, ukiguswa ugusiki.
Thank you for joining us on Healthy Living. Stay connected to Voice of America at voanews.com. A look at your kidneys and how they impact your health. And an expert discusses chronic kidney disease and how to protect yourself. And Ivorian psychologist Noor Bakayoko shares some insights on bullying and what can be done.
It's important to avoid major events or major health crises.
How do you know if your cough is due to a serious condition? We'll have some answers. Stay well
and strive to make every day a healthy day.
No, did you get any receipt?
Hapana.
Was there any acknowledgement?
Even the rest walikuwa hapo simu.
Kwani nyinyi mnahusika na hii kesi?
Hapo dada moja akaingia akaripoti kuwa ameitishwa 200,000 kama hongo.
Mimi sikupokea kwa sababu ni kasi mimi
nilikuwa unapokea unampelekea.
Simulisema nikuje niongee mambo ya ukweli mheshimiwa na ndio hiyo.
Basi asante.
Na mtu akikuitisha hongo tafadhali ripoti kwa ofisi za EACC.
Alafu kitu kingine mheshimiwa, hii mwezi kama unaweza kuwa MCA wangu mheshimiwa. Wewe.
And welcome back to Sports Check on this Monday morning. Hello, December. It is the second day of the final month of the year. And yes, what a year it's been. A lot of sporting conversations we're going to talk through. Well, we're joined by Lucy Mora as our sign language interpreter. We'll be talking athletics. It's holiday season, something that always happens. The holiday comes that put up by Athletics Kenya. We know that also at times they work even with the National Olympic Committee of Kenya. But this time it's only athletics, focus on developing the youth. There is a huge focus. What's the short-term goal, what's the medium-term goal, and what is the long-term goal for these camps that we have seen, and it's also some of the success stories that we've come. We've got the Director of Youth Development and Athletics Kenya, Barnaba Korir in studio. Barnaba, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Wahome.
Yes, and as we get into, first of all, just let me just engage you on 2024. First of all, yesterday morning, Kimaru Sawe gets onto marathon running on debut, clocks 2 hours, 2 minutes. Maybe a reaction to this from somebody we've seen as a strong half marathoner throughout.
Sawe started as a cross-country runner. Then, of course, he didn't run much track and field. But on the road, he's been doing very well. And I saw the way he was running yesterday. He's very, very talented. He has run very fast, I think, around under 59, 21 kilometers. So he's an athlete that actually will also challenge the world record in the future. As a debut, he did very well. I saw him running another race in Europe. I was there, and the way he ran, and you know, the kind of character he is, I figured out that if he one day runs the marathon, you can see very good results. So I was not really surprised, but I'm happy that he did that. Of course, as Kenyans, we always do not lack the top athletes that come by any time. So this is not a big surprise, but it's something good for this country.
Well, I wouldn't mind having the headache of selecting a team for Tokyo, you know, with the kind of marks that we're seeing, because most of the athletes now will be running between now and, I think, end of March, April.
Yeah, I think the Athletes Kenya now is looking at those who will be running the World Championship. So we start now in this season, and then ultimately the final team will be selected in April. But I think before we go home for Christmas, Athletes Kenya will come up with a team that will be pre-selected before now April, and then April, of course, we determine now who is going to be the team for the World Championship.
Well, at least now we've got something out, you know, out what to expect, who to look out for, and so that, you know, they can give their 2025 calendar very well. 2024, it has been the Olympic year, and it was a breakout year. Let's talk about, first of all, about Beatrice. But you know, that double gold plus also, you know, becoming the, you know, this athlete who's moved from the junior ranks, breaking through, you know, that heartbreak in Aarhus, Denmark.
Yes.
That was a big one, and then going on to win the seniors cross country, and finally a champion on the track.
Beatrice Chebet has come a long way, and when we look back, we realized that she was really good from the beginning. We had these camps that was started by Athletes Kenya, and we used to visit her in those camps, and the government...
This is Lemotit.
Lemotit, yes, in Lemotit, Londiane. So that's where we used to go and see her. And in preparation now to come up, she also ran the youth competitions, and then of course the under 20, where she won the World Cross Country Championship in Aarhus. And you saw the way she ran. She has a different mindset, very, very competitive, just like Faith is. And she's a girl also she's a go-getter. She wants to excel. And participating during the World, Olympic Championship competition this year, we saw what she could do. She won the 5,000 meters, 5,000 meters and then the 10,000 meters. It was an amazing thing. It was something that rarely happens. I think we have seen also Vivian Geriot winning the 5 and the 10 before. So this is an athlete that I think the future is still for her. She's still very young. She has consistently performed in all those years when she was young as a under 20 athlete, and now she transited very well to the older stage. If you look at this program that we have been doing, you know, quite a number of athletes also transited to the senior level. I mean, of course, Manuel Wanyonyi was there. We had also Chipchirjir, 1,500 meters, also she's a miler. And quite a number of them, we have also Girov and Kimeli. They were in the Olympics also, and they did very well. So this is something that at least Kenya has in the short term and the mid term, and of course now the long term is to look at the next championships that are coming, which is especially the Olympics. So, so far, the programs that was initiated by our president from at least Kenya, General Tuwe, has borne fruit, and we want to continue with the same one. You have seen also the kind of events that are taking place practically every weekend. Those are the plans and the structures that has been put in place by at least Kenya to ensure that there is continuity, consistency in the programs that we are doing.
Well, very well. Now let's come down to these camps, and you know, since their establishment, you know, from 2017, what were the initial, you know, teething problems? You know, people trying to, you know, believe that, you know, you can have these people here, then take them back to school, and that for.
You know, when we started this program, I was appointed to be the chairman or the director of the youth from at least Kenya. And immediately after that, there was the World Under 18 in 2017. So we figured out now that we have the championship here in Kenya, and we want to showcase the talent that we have and perform well, you know, in front of the other countries who are competing in Nairobi here. This was our home soil, And now we are to find out on how are we going to best get a team. So we were given that opportunity to organize the funding from the government. And we say, okay, the best way is to look at the talents from where they come from. Different camps all over the country. So we set up that. We are given the resources to start those camps. And that's what we did. And we found people like Mary Mora, who did very well. And that was now the beginning. From 2018, we started now to say, okay, this is the best way we have to follow to ensure that we nurture talent all over the country so that we don't focus only on one region.
Okay.
We went all over the country, and we ensure that in every region, we had a camp to give a chance to every athlete from those areas.
Well, Barnaba Korir, he's Director of Development at Athletics Kenya. We'll be coming back to this in the holiday camps. You know, started way back 7 years, and now they have a proper structure. How are they working with schools? Where, you know, can we see more collaborations coming through? But right now, let's move over to and join Joseph Wakungu, who's on location, and he is with Lucy Sunkuli, you know, the Cereal Growers Association, in collaboration with the World Food Program through a project known as Farm to Market Alliance, are offering farmers in Kenya access to market for their produce. So the markets are a major bottleneck in agricultural production, and today they're sharing their experience with one of the grain aggregators in Kilgoris that offers ready market to smallholder farmers. So over to Narok County. Wahungu, tell us the story that you are getting from Lucy Sunkuli.
Oh, thank you very much, Daniel Wahome. Indeed, we are coming to you live from Kilgoris, Narok County. And as you indicated, we are here with only one mission to understand how farmers normally benefit from when they take their produce to the markets. For those who might not necessarily know how to benefit when they have their produce, what they are supposed to do, we are in Kilgoris at the NCPB depot here to see if you're a farmer out there and you have produce from the farm, what are you supposed to do, how you are supposed to benefit. So to join us here, utaniruhusu kidogo nichanganye ndimi. Tuko na mmojawapo maofisa hapa ambao watatueleza jinsi ambavyo wanaweza kuhakikisha kwamba wakulima wanapopata mazao yao ya mashamba, jinsi ambavyo wanaweza kufaidika. Karibu katika matangazo haya moja kwa moja kutoka KBC Channel 1. Tueleze jina lako na tueleze katika gala hili la NCPB ni lipi ambalo unajishughulisha nalo. Nitakusikia.
Mimi kwa majina naitwa Lucy Sunkuli. Mimi ni farmer. Nasimamia kampuni inaitwa Celebrity Enterprises. Na pia mimi ni aggregator. Na lete mahindi, nanunua mahindi kutoka farmers. Na niko na farmers 300. Na nimekuwa trained na CGA through FTMA, na nashukuru kampuni ya CGA kwa sababu wamekuja kutuletea training. Kuna wakati hatukukuwa, farmers wetu walikuwa wanapanda mahindi, wanapanda maharagwe, lakini hakuna mahali walikuwa wanauzia au kuwa na masoko. Lakini through FTMA wameweza kututrain, na pia wakati huu naweza sema farmers wetu wamekuwa na faida kubwa sana kwa sababu ya CGA. Siku hizi tumepata masoko kama World Food Program, tuna supply mahindi na pia maharagwe, na wakati mwingine tumepata soko mingi ya tunauzia mashule, hospitali. So naweza sema kwa through FTMA wakulima wa Kilgoris Transmara wameweza kufaidika sana, kwa sababu siku hizi hawana shida ya masomo, watoto wao wanaenda shule, wamefaidika sana sana, naweza sema wamefaidika.
Ni wakulima wangapi ambao unashughulika nao kufikia sasa?
Niko na wakulima 350 wenye wamefaidika kutoka mimi, kwa sababu nilitrainiwa na pia nikaenda kuwa train. So wakati huu wanaweza kulete mazao mazuri, wanajua vile wanalima, ile mbolea wanatumia, na pia mbegu yenye wanaweza panda ili mahindi isiose kwa mashamba. Na pia wakati tuna supply, tunapeana mazao yetu, hatujaipata shida lolote kwa sababu tumepata mafunzo mazuri.
Asante sana. Daniel Wahome, if you give me one more minute, I have one of the trainers here who will come and explain to us how such officers are trained so that they can be beneficial to farmers. Karibu katika matangazo haya moja kwa moja. Hebu tueleze jinsi ambavyo mna train farmers kama Madam Lucy hapa.
Asante sana KBC. Kwa majina naitwa Lewis Kilesi. Mimi ni trainer, nafanya na Cereal Growers Association. Nikimplement project ya Farm to Market Alliance. Tuko na model ambayo inaitwa FSC model. FSC ni Farmer Service Center model. Hapa tuko 13 counties in Kenya. In Narok County we have 88 Farmer Service Center ambayo tumewagawanya in different areas of specialization. But kwa sababu ya program ya Farm to Market Alliance tuko na aggregators kama Lucy. Hawa aggregators wengi wao kupitia FTMA wameweza kuregister makampuni yao, ambayo hiyo makampuni madhumuni kubwa ni kulete wakulima wadogo. Kwa mfano in Narok Transmara tuko na wakulima 14,000 ambayo naweza sema wana benefit kwa hii shirika ya Cereal Growers Association implementing the FTMA program. Ile mafunzo ambaye tumeweza kuwapatia mafunzo ya productivity, that is waweze kukuza hiyo chakula kwa njia bora. Alafu pia tumewapeleka kitu inaitwa aggregation journey, ambayo ni njia ya kukusanya ile chakula, kununua hiyo chakula kutoka kwa wakulima wadogo. Alafu hawa FSCs kupitia FTMA tumeweza kuwa link na market tofauti vile FSC Lucy amesema. Tuko na mafunzo kadha wa kadha. Mafunzo muhimu kwa hii maneno ya markets ikiwa ni mambo ya post harvest management. Post harvest management ni ubora wa chakula, kuhakikisha kwamba ile chakula ni bora kwa afya ya binadamu, kuhakikisha kwamba wanazingatia mbinu bora za kuboresha ile chakula, kuhakikisha kwamba ile chakula ambayo itapelekwa kwa soko ni chakula ambayo ni chakula bora.
Well, Daniel Wahome, perhaps to wrap it up, just one more speaker who is going to speak to us about what CGA is doing in the field, and of course Mr. Julius, you're not new to us, but of course introduce yourself. Tueleze CGA nchini inafanya nini kuhakikisha kwamba mkulima ananufaika kutokana na kazi ambayo anafanya katika mashamba?
Asante sana. Jina langu ni Julius Nyabicha, nafanya kazi na shirika la CGA. Sisi kama shirika tunafanya kazi katika kaunti 32 hapa nchini Kenya, na pia sisi ndio tuna implement huu mradi wa Farm to Market Alliance, yani kutoka shambani hadi sokoni. Mradi wa Farm to Market Alliance ni mradi ambao unatekelezwa kwenye kaunti 13, na tunahakikisha kwamba yule mkulima mdogo anawakilishwa na mkulima mwenzake, lakini yule mkulima mwenzake ni mkulima kiongozi ambao tutakuwa tumempa mafunzo. Haya mafunzo ni kutoka uzalishaji na vile baada ya kuvuna tunampa huyu mkulima kiongozi mbinu ambazo zinawezesha yeye kuwafunza wakulima wengine mbinu bora za kuhifadhi na vile kupeleka sokoni. Lengo letu kubwa ni kuhakikisha kwamba yule mkulima mdogo anafaidika. Sasa hivi changamoto kubwa ambayo tunakumbana nayo na wakulima wadogo ni kwamba hamna soko. Kwa hivyo sasa hii ndio soko. Kwa mfano huyu mwenzetu Lucy Sunkuli, yeye anawapa soko wakulima zaidi ya 300. Na sio soko tu, lakini soko lenye ubora. Na sio soko tu lenye ubora, kuhakikisha kwamba kile chakula ambacho tunakitumia sisi kama binadamu ni chakula ambacho kimepitia mikono safi, ni chakula ambacho kimetunzwa vizuri, kimehifadhiwa vizuri, na hii sasa ndio tunaita food safety. Lakini sisi kama shirika la CGA Pia tunahakikisha kwamba uzalishaji unatekelezwa kwa zile mbinu bora ambazo tunasema mbinu ambazo zinazingatia mabadiliko ya tabia nchi, climate smart agriculture.
Pengine kwa haraka ikiwa mkulima pale nje anatazama na angependa kunufaika na mradi ambao mnafanya, kukua mmoja wale ambao watapata mafunzo yenu, anaweza kufanyaje?
Ni kuungana na sisi. Sisi tunatekeleza zaidi ya miradi 10. Farm to Market Alliance ni mradi mmoja tu, lakini tumesema ya kwamba tuko katika kaunti 32, na vile mwenzangu Kilesi amesema ni kwamba wakulima wote nchini Kenya, wale ambao wanalima nafaka na mazao mengine ya chakula, wanaweza wakajiunga na sisi. Na CGA ni shirika ambalo ni la wakulima. That's why inaitwa Cereal Growers Association. Wakulima wanajiunga pamoja ili waweze kutoa sauti yao wakiwa kama sauti moja.
Well, Daniel Wahome, that's it from the county of Narok, precisely in Kilgoris town. Of course, we'll be here to inform you much more from farmers and what they have to say about how they're benefiting from organizations like CGA and many more. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you very much, Joseph Wahungu, who is in Kilgoris, Narok County, speaking to farmers who are around the Cereal Growers Association. And this is around a project known as the Farm to Market Alliance. He's going to be giving us that story in our subsequent bulletins. We get back to our conversation, and it is about the athletics Kenya Youth Camps. They are now open. It's a story that, 7 years ago it all started. And now let's get to see what the developments have been, after the successes of 2017 when Kenya hosted the World at 18 Championships, and the following year in Finland, we saw that some of those athletes transition from under 18 to under 20. But still, even when Kenya hosted the under 20 championships in athletics here, way back in 2021, all these athletes came through this pathway. Barnaba Korir, Director of Development at Athletics Kenya. Let's get back to that conversation. Post 2019 or let's say post 2018, what were now the more well explained, after the learning lessons from 2017, 2018, what were the things then now that you were doing whenever a camp was being set up?
Yeah, what we did was that, we were in a rush establishing the camps for the All Under 18 in Nairobi here. So after that, we managed now to plan very well for the World Championship All Under 20 in Finland, which of course we went ahead and became the world champion for that event in Finland. Lessons are learned. Every time you do something, you learn that you can do it better. And one of the reasons why we keep on succeeding is because that, nurturing this talent and identifying them also was a bit difficult. But now we work very closely with the Ministry of Education, primary and secondary schools, so that we can really identify those athletes who are talented. And we attended competitions for primary schools. We could see how we were working very closely with the teachers. And in fact, some of the executive members we are together in AK come from the ministry. So we have that partnership with the ministry and the Ministry of Education and AK to nurture talent. And the reason is that most of these athletes who are under 20 come from schools. And therefore, we need also to work very closely with the teachers and also train them on how they can handle the young ones. And whenever we have camps now, we involve the teachers. And these camps is basically done in either primary schools with boarding and also secondary schools, because what we do is to ensure that to protect the integrity and the protection of the young athletes, we involve the teachers. And we engage the school that has accepted to organize holiday camps to be the one who is responsible. What we do is the government supports what we have done so far, which we are very grateful, and gives now the money to AK. Yes. The money that we are given is sent directly to the schools where the camps will be. And the principal of that school and the board members also manages those athletes during that period. What we do only is to ensure that we give them the right coaches. We have also athlete support personnel. And for the girls who are there, we have also women coaches. We have chaperones to ensure that everything is okay. And that's why we have never come across problems in those camps, because those are school-based and the people who are managing are the teachers or the principal from that school. That has really helped us.
Let's go through some things that have come in there. One is, the first one I would like to talk about so that it gets away, is the funding that comes to AK from the government. Just give us the structure of that and how it comes from the sports fund and the budgeting for it.
Yes, Athletes Kenya came up with a plan and approached the government for the support. And with the idea and the plan that was given, the government accepted to give us the funds. And the funds now is appropriated in such a way that we have a camps in December, April, and August. So we ask for funding for the whole period. That money now is given to Athletes Kenya, who will now send the money directly to the schools. In fact, what we do also is we give the government the account numbers of the schools, the principals, to ensure that everything is okay. The accounting part, we also account for it, but the schools will be accounting for that money, because when the money is sent to a school, then now they have to have discussions with the board members, and then the accounting principals, especially through the Ministry of Education, is looked into that, so that at the end of the period now, we get the returns from the schools, and then we attach with ours the kind of money that we received from the government, we put together, and then the Auditor General audits that money, because it is sent by the government through the fund, is audited by the Auditor General in AK, and then the returns is sent back to the fund, and the fund now liaises with the Auditor General and sends all the information about funding. So everything is done according to the regulations governing the government funding. So when we get money from the government, it is it's a special fund for this purpose only, and therefore it is subject to audit from the Auditor General, directly in AK, not in the fund. So the auditors come to check how the money is used, and then now they liaise also with the schools on how the funds were used. And also on our part, when we give them the money, we make sure that what we require and request the schools to do is to make sure that they give our athletes the kind of food that we require, which we request when we say this kind of food, meat and this, on this period, we also make sure that the food is given. And we have our own AK officials who will be the liaison in the schools also to ensure that the teachers and the schools follow the regulations from Athletes Kenya, so that nobody is walking or not giving the money to the athletes. And on top of that, we give the money to the athletes when they come to the camp, travel to the camp, and go back. Even to buy food and medicine, everything is provided, and to ensure that in that period that they are there, Athletes Kenya ensures that the athletes are taken care of, and that's why it has been very successful.
Now, the other one I want to come in here is the use of schools and the matters of safeguarding. I know that was, and with those who are there, what are the ways that you liaise with the safeguarding of children here?
Safeguarding is something which is going on very well now. It is also a program which was brought recently by World Athletics, that every federation must have a safeguarding officer. In Athletes Kenya, we have an office for women affairs and safeguarding of the athletes. So the safeguarding liaison person, Elizabeth Gaitany, works very closely with the regions, and also where the camps are, ensures that the athletes are taken care of. In case of an issue, she gets that information and then relays back to the federation to discuss if the matter is appropriate to take over, or we can sort it out from there. So it is a very strong structures which have come in now, and the rules for safeguarding is, is taking a different dimension now. It is protected by World Athletics, and if a coach or a teacher misbehaves, then they're subject to penalties from World Athletics, which is very serious penalties, and sometimes even removal from athletics completely. So this is something that we are very happy to have, and you can see now the government is also coming on board, especially as a result of what has been happening to our athletes. Now they want to see the issue of gender-based violence. How do we protect this, especially the girls and also the boys? So we are on the right track, and the federation is doing really a lot of work to protect our athletes, and we are very happy. Also, the government is also supporting that initiative. They have their own initiatives that work together, and we guide them. Whenever they have their own plans, we also work together to show them how our systems work, so that they can also now ensure that the same information is passed on to the athletes and also the public.
The youth camps now that they're based in schools, one of the things is you have got to do the skills, the knowledge transfer, the coaching knowledge transfer. that goes down. How are you working with this? Because at these camps, we may have the coaches who are there who know how to work with them, with the youngsters, but when they go after the holidays, everyone to their school, and you do not want to have that gap.
We are very lucky that we have ADC, which is for training. The director is Ibrahim Hussein. The way we set up these systems, we will not have any cap, because now we know the athletes, we know the camps where they are training, and what we do is now when they open the schools in January, they have their camps also.
Yes.
They have their competitions. We have now the teachers whom we have also trained to deal, especially to train our athletes and to engage with athletes from every school. So we know where the camps are. So if the camp is in Nairobi here, and we know it is in Rirota, then we follow that and to ensure that those athletes who are in Rirota, where did they come from? And during their competition, we follow that. We have also we have teachers who are following that. We have also liaison officers from Athletes Kenya to monitor how they are doing. And then when they have their competitions also, we are there. And we encourage them. Whenever they need any support, we are there. So we focus on ensuring that we have a follow-up. The athletes that we have now in December here, every camp has to select. They have to do a trial again. The trial that will be done now is to select the teams that will move ahead for April camps to continue to improve. The rest can still remain, but as they move ahead...
Just give us, the whole concept of how you're doing it, that trials.
The trial is very simple. We have, for example, now, I can give you in Nairobi here. This is county of Nairobi. So we have about 3 camps here in Nairobi for sprinters and the others. So immediately after the event, maybe around 22nd, we have a trial. We have competition because they have been training. So how do we test them? How do we know they have done well? Unless we give them an opportunity to compete and see what they have achieved. So we encourage them. So we'll have now a competition among these athletes who are there. Then we identify now who is number 1, who is number 2, who is number 3. We will know now those who have benefited from the program. Then we identify them so that we can now follow those ones. Because we cannot just have people in the camp and just say, okay, we had a camp. It is going to be competitive, and they understand. The athletes will understand that it comes now after the camps. You cannot just walk home and say, oh, okay, I have finished the training camp. No, we have to see what you have achieved. And then the coaches who are there every day, they see their performance, they record what they are doing, and it gives us now an opportunity to know who they are. And remember, we have now a system that we record every single athlete. The registration work that we did from by AK recently and is still going on is the system that we have procured from France. It will allow now to pick an athlete, ex-athlete, to follow that athlete, to know what they have done, their performance in every competition, their history. So we know if I say ex-athlete is so-and-so, and then it comes out and tells us what this person has done, where are they. So those are the networks that we are using now to have a meaningful follow-up. We have also hired, as a federation, about 11 staff members who are basically dealing with that, because we have so many athletes, and we want to show that we know each and every person. Even as we speak now, they have a meeting in Eldoret, and they are picking the numbers. You see the photos, even 5-year-old kids. We have kids athletics stand 4 years to 15. So they are taking their numbers also and identifying who are these. When we register those kids now, it is very easy to follow. Even when in 5 years down the line, we'll know, oh, that kid was running here and there. We have the history background. So this is something that is updated. And as we work very closely with AIU, the system we are going to upload now is unique completely in the world. So we are even going to share with other countries like Ethiopia, Uganda, even outside Africa. Because this is a system which is new, they have never used before, and we have so far tested and it's going to work. So that nobody will say I'm an athlete and we don't know of their history. If you're an athlete, we have to have your history, and we'll know. If we punch your name, it has to come out and say, yes, you are an athlete, so that you can, even when you're applying for a visa, you don't just come and ask for if you are not an athlete, we will not give you a letter to get a visa. And we are going to work also with very closely in the same system with embassies, so that they know now. Nobody can just go and fake the letter. The same documents we work with the registrar of sports in this country also to ensure that the information they have also is what we have. In case there's something that the government wants to do, they have the number of athletes who are there.
Okay, very well. Now, collaboration with schools, because now once you've identified, you've done the trials, and for example, first time we know is decathlon and cross country. That's where you'd have the school games, secondary and also the primary school games. Term 2 games is where you have now track and field, ordinary track and field. How do you work with schools to ensure that this training program that you've taken these athletes through is sustained through first term? By the time they get to the April holiday camp, there is some continuity.
It is sustained because you see now, as I told you before, we have an executive member from the Ministry of Education. That's mainly a director of sports from the
MOU.
yeah. So we have an MOU, and we work very closely. So whenever we do a calendar of events, we also consider theirs and they see ours on so that it can fit very well. And even this year when they were doing the East African competitions, especially in athletics, we work very closely. And the athletes that were competing there made a team to go to East Africa and also to go to in Peru. Yes, they were supposed to go. So we engage now and say, okay, since this athletes was going to represent the Minister of Education in Uganda, now you have to find another person because this and so has already made the team too. So in June or July, we normally have now a national competition that we actually identify now the national champions for the under 20s. So all the camps, all the counties now, it's not even the camps now, it is about the counties. The counties will come with the athletes who are in the camps to the national level now. So we invite them, we compete, and from there now we identify the best athletes for this country.
So like in the case of Nairobi, so you've got your 3 camps, you will know,
Yes.
they will definitely have to go, there's going to be a clash.
There will be a clash, they have to compete and we have to identify. That's the way it should be, that's competition.
Very well. Now, for the medium term, let's just talk about the medium term plan. Youth Olympics Dakar 2026. What's the progression plan? Because, for example, we know that this is ideally an under-18 tournament, and under-18s now is run at continental level,
yes,
at the highest. What's the plan for that?
You know, Athletics Kenya is ahead of practically every other federation. We have set up already the athletes. We see now we are working with those ones who are 12, 13, 14, 15 years. And as time goes, of course, now they'll grow up to be those ones. So they are competing. And that's why now they are in holiday camps. The parents or the families or the communities are very grateful because they have started also the same programs. Holidays, they want the children also to be doing something, not to loiter around. So they have taken their own even initiative to develop their own camps, which they call us to go and verify. But they are the ones who are funding. It's not the government. The families, actually, the parents and the community fund those programs so that now the athletes, their children can engage in the same program. So when it comes to 2026 in Dakar, we will have a very strong team from athletics. Because now we have those programs going on. The athletes that are in now are now preparing for that. Those who are older, 18 years, 19 years, now transiting to the seniors, we are preparing them for 2028. Olympics. So that is now a long-term project. We have now the project for 2026, and that's something that we have to think about also now. When we reach there, we have to think about 2032, so that we have continuity. Transition should be automatic. We just move from the kids athletics to youth to under 20 to seniors. Yes. And those ones now, the seniors who are here now will be running the marathon Bandai. So this is how the system works, and I think that a lot of people should learn from Athletics Kenya for what you have done. Because you see, every weekend, you have an activity going on, and it is involved by Athletics Kenya to ensure that we work very closely with the partners, we work with the companies to initiate these competitions that they have, so that those athletes now who run the road race, they can continue. We encourage those for the track and field not to run the road race, but they run the cross country. So we have combination of road race and the cross country and the marathons. So at the end of the day, that is why this country will always remain at the top, because of the plans that Athletics Kenya has.
Well, very interesting that you mentioned that, because one of the things that people are saying, boy child ako wapi anatuangusha kwa mbio. What's the plan to try and see that say from normally, let's talk about middle and long on the track, that there's some, revival that comes through.
You know, I don't want to think that there was an issue of a boy child. What happened was that, the emergence of road races, especially the young guys now, 18 to 20 years, they started now going to run the road races and did not concentrate on the track and field and the cross country. So that narrative is changing. We are encouraging now to avoid running the road races to get money, because there's a lot of money in road races, but to stay and continue more on the track. And we have seen now the benefits, because most of them now are coming back and realizing that the more you stay in the track, the longer you survive in the long run.
Yes.
And they have seen that. So what the Federation is doing now is to make sure that we discuss with the coaches, with the managers, and in fact nowadays, if you have 18-year-olds sending to run a marathon, we refuse, because we want to protect them. We refuse even to run a marathon. Let them go and run the cross country. So we engage with the managers, engage with the coaches, and tell them, okay, don't kill these athletes by allowing them to run the road races. Let them sacrifice, teach them to be patient, so that I know at the moment there's a lot of difficulties in financial matters. But we encourage them that you even earn more when you wait, and you will benefit, and then you have a longer career instead of running a marathon or a marathon at this moment when you are 18, 17 years. So that is what is happening now. Otherwise, I don't think there is a situation where the boy jail has gone down. The only issue is because now they concentrate on other issues and forgot the most important event. And the girls were coming, the girls were coming up, you see, and they were not subject to running the road races, so they focus on the track and field, and that's why now you see the changes, the flip on the tables have turned against them. But that thing now will balance in the next championship to make sure that our boys also are doing very well and working very closely with their sisters.
Now, let me come to now the field events, because we saw Julius Yego at the Olympics. He had his best throw, I think, in about 5 or 6 years. But what's the focus on that?
The focus on that is that we have realized as a federation also now we need to give much more attention to these field events. Julius Yego did very well, and he acted as an example that there's a possibility that our young people also can do well. So we have somebody like one of the young boys who was in the Itana, who is a Maasai young man who was also throwing very well. We have also Kiprotich, who has done very well. So those ones now we are focused. We are now getting the equipment so that we can focus on those ones. Coaches also are there, both men and women, so that they can focus on that. When we go to the camps, we encourage also to give them now an opportunity, because not everyone can run. We want those ones who have a talent in jumps, like triple jump, long jump, or high jump, ball vault, so that they themselves also have that opportunity. And you have seen, when Omanyala ran, the next year was totally different. We had so many young people who wanted to run the...
I think you had, 19 hits?
More even this year we had 25. Everybody is now becoming a sprinter. And if we don't really, even the long distance are not careful, you realize that majority of the people now will be focusing on the sprints, because it gets more interesting. And the public also wants something which is fast and, just like in Europe now they are changing. They don't even want the 10,000. They want to make it even shorter and shorter.
Yes, they're going down to most of the DL events are 3,000 meters.
3,000 meters. They want even to remove the steeplejays. So those are the things that we have to look at. But we are not saying that we want to kill the long and middle distance, because that is our strength. We want now to elevate the field events and the sprints, so that now it is balanced, that every child or every athlete has an opportunity also to excel in whatever they are good at.
Final one is anti-doping education. How much is being done now? I know, and we know that there is the challenge, and we know the presentation you made to the National Assembly and also to the Senate, so we are aware of that. How deep is the education now?
Last week, we had almost the whole week of education by ADAC in E10. And the most important thing, and which are very important, are education and testing. Because you cannot test with somebody who have not even thought of what they are testing about.
Yes.
So those are the priorities. To give more education so that our athletes can understand what they should do and not do. Then we have now the testing part, which is going on very well. I have seen the trend which is now coming down as a result of the education that has been going on, and also the testing. So most athletes are understanding now what the problems can be if they don't do what they're supposed to do as athletes. So in a nutshell, we are gaining the upper hand as a federation, ADAC, and also World Athletics, when we see now things are changing. When you see the spike in the results of testing, doping, you realize that it is not because there's an increment. It is because now the systems are working well, and those who have been using banned substances are being caught. At one time, there was very few numbers that came up.
Yes.
And you can see now it's going down. It is not so usual that you get these people. And then when you look at it also, it is mainly, which now we are targeting, is mainly those mid-level road runners who have actually been got. If you look at the track and field, it is, I think this year we have not even seen one or maybe one or two.
Actually, yes, it's a mid-level.
It's mid-level. Those ones have not been targeted, but now they have been targeted now to get more testing than even the others.
Aha. All right. So there you go. Korir, thank you very much for your time this morning, speaking to us about that. Well, insights and things coming through for the top level athletes. We know where their testing is heavy, but none being caught. But it is these mid-level athletes that now we've got to focus on. Thank you very much for being with us this morning as we spoke about the East Africa Community Interparliamentary Games and also the youth camps. Well, time for us to take a break, and after that we shall have Kurunzi Mashinani followed by Tam Rini. Our sign language interpreter this hour has been Lucy Mwaura. Have a good day.
Watu kila mtu ana kazi yake. Tani mitani leo. Wewe kitu wako inaendaga mbele ama urudi reverse? Side by side.
Unajua kupika nani?
Paka fathers mimi nimewapikia. Mimi najua kupika chakula ina mingi sana. Do you even know the types of food? Nimesaidia order. Nobody is talking, nobody is doing anything.
Hii mbuzi vulai, yani ngod. Yenye ni vulai. Yembuzi.
Mmeka iliki hapa.
Iye iliki. Ukaka unajua utanirudishia pesa zangu wewe.
Mata mwache kuzidi ukinivanya kwa.
Ushapata usaidizi zote?
Sijatibiwa bado. Anywe yale maji. Halafu itapobakia aweke kwenye jeraha.
Lakini haya Jasiri yamenishtua. Afadhali ongea na mizimu ingilie kati.
Niko hapa kwa ajili ya Jasiri.
Huyu mwanamke ana roho mbaya. Yeye ndo muuaji.
Jasiri anaona watu wengine huko nje.
Ukiambiwa uambiliki. Ukisemezwa usemezeki mwanamume, ukiguswa uhusiki.
Did you get any receipt?
Hapana.
Was there any acknowledgement?
Even the rest walikuwa hapo simu.
Kwani nyinyi mnahusika na hii kesi?
Hapo dada moja akaingia akaripoti kuwa ameitishwa 200,000 kama hongo.
Mimi sikupokea kwa sababu ni kazi mimi nilikuwa
unapokea unampelekea.
Simulisema alikuja niongee mambo ya ukweli mheshimiwa na ndio hiyo.
Basi asante.
Na mtu akikuitisha hongo tafadhali ripoti kwa ofisi za EACC.
Alafu kitu kingine mheshimiwa, hii mwezi kama unaweza kuwa MCA wangu mheshimiwa. Wewe.
Nenda nitakueleza mahali penyewe baadaye.
Na ngojea. Lakini ukinihada
Nitakueleza nilionayo mbele ya mkeo. Samahani. Mbele ya Naomi na Rama.
Kama humpendi mtu Linda, hili umwambie. Na kama unampenda pia, mwambie ajue. Sidhani nitakuona tena. Na hata hivyo kama ningekuwa hapa bado, mambo yetu yangekuwa yameishia hapa hapa.
Rama.
Kwanza ufai kumuita babako kwa sasa. Umesikia? Huyo ni mume wangu. Alikuwa babako ulipokuwa mdogo.
Ushapata usaidizi zote?
Sijatibiwa bado.
Anywe yale maji. Halafu itapobakia aweke kwenye jeraha.
Lakini haya ya Jasiri yamenishtua. Afadhali ongea na mizimu ingilie kati.
Niko hapa kwa ajili ya Jasiri.
Huyo mwanamke ana roho mbaya. Yeye ndo muuaji.
Jasiri anaona watu wengine huko nje.
Ukiambiwa uambiliki. Ukisemezwa usemezeki mwanamume wewe, ukiguswa ugusiki.
On KBC Channel 1, we are a TV station like no other. Get a taste of the best in entertainment.
Yes, indeed.
Feel the passion.
Will you promise me?
I swear that you will never lose me. I can't get married to you.
I'm sure you knew about it. That's why you're making fun of me.
Experience the drama.
Get out.
Who is the man in this one?
And the laughter.
Hii wigi umevaa kichwani.
Sio wakati tulikuwa tunaapishwa tunapewa mheshimiwa.
Move to the beat.
We are live from Broadcasting House.
And get informed on the latest happenings. KBC Channel 1.
Wow. Yeah!
We are the full package.
Oh, yes.
And Kenya's watching.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for joining us on Healthy Living. Stay connected to Voice of America at voanews.com. A look at your kidneys and how they impact your health. And an expert discusses chronic kidney disease and how to protect yourself. And Ivorian psychologist Noor Bakayoko shares some insights on bullying and what can be done.
It's important to avoid major events or major health crises.
How do you know if your cough is due to a serious condition? We'll have some answers. Stay well
and strive to make every day a healthy day.
The dhow business is common in the coastal region, but yeah, we have one in Lake Victoria in Kisumu. Join me as we enjoy the experience led by Captain Kevin Okuta. Captain, karibu sana.
Asante.
Nafurahi sana kwa maji. I love water.
Your first time? Eh?
No, not my first time, but you know, being in Auranalo, you call it, is my first time.
Welcome.
Yes.
My name is Kevin Okuta. I'm the Nalo captain, Auranalo captain. So, Aura, as we know, in the Luo, Aura means river. Then Nalo is just Nile, so River Nile kwa Kizungu.
Okay.
It came from, the source of Nile is Lake Victoria, so maybe this is the source of first dhow in Kisumu. So for the others to come, it was from Auranalo.
Wow,
yeah.
That's very creative. And just let's talk about the business, the dhow business. It's commonly in the coastal region. So what was the idea of bringing it in Kisumu? Because in Kisumu we have different ferries, we have different things. Why the dhow here?
We need to try if we can bring a new thing in Kisumu, a new face of tourism, like the Casa. Will people enjoy it? Because you find many people are going to Lamu or Diani for a boat ride in the dam. So we decided to let's try it in Kisumu if they can divert and come to Kisumu also.
Okay. And so what makes this specific boat different from the others that are already in existence?
So this one is some of the way it is being made. Mostly the Lamu people, they know, the carpenters from Lamu, they know how to build it. Not most Kisumu locals, they just know how to build the canoes. But this one, if you look into the boat around, you'll see some dots. This one, like these ones.
Yes.
There's dots. So these are hardwood. It comes from some from Uganda, some from Congo. So the hardwood is being connected just with the wood also. They drill it, then they connect it with the wood. So it's something which can take around 6 months to build the dhow. So mostly we found that in Kisumu, we don't have those who can build this kind of thing. So for us to have it, we had to go to Lamu. They make it from there around 6 months. Then from Mombasa, we took a trailer. We loaded it on